Most people think that once you cross into your 80s, it's all downhill from there. They assume that your body inevitably betrays you, that your spirit starts to shrink, that dreams quietly fold away into dusty corners. They expect to see you slowing, fading, quietly slipping into the background of life. But what if that's not the truth? What if there are small, quiet signs, habits you still do without fanfare, that reveal something extraordinary? Signs that say you are not only alive, you are thriving. And you may very well be on the path to living much longer than anyone expects. If you are still doing these things after 80, you are carrying a rare kind of vitality inside you, one that defies the quiet assumptions people make about growing old. One that quietly insists you're not fading away, you're deepening into life itself. And today, we're going to uncover these 5 powerful habits. Habits that, if you recognize them in yourself or in someone you love, are silent promises of many vibrant days still ahead. If this message touches something inside you or reminds you of someone special, please share it. Let's be the ones who pass along hope. Sometimes, a simple reminder can light up an entire season of someone's life. One of the clearest signs that you are likely to live much longer is your ability to keep moving under your own power. Even if your steps are slower, even if you need a cane or a walker, the fact that you are still rising from your chair, still choosing to move your body, still walking from one room to another, speaks volumes. Movement after 80 is a miracle of resilience. Every time you take those steps, your muscles, your heart, your balance, and your willpower all coordinate in a breathtaking act of determination. You may not see it that way. You may simply think, I'm just getting up to make tea. But inside your body, an orchestra of life is still playing your song. Each step is a quiet, defiant promise. I am still here. I am still going forward. I still have more living to do. If you're still listening, if your heart feels even a small pull of recognition, that itself is another beautiful sign. Staying engaged, staying curious, staying open to words, ideas, emotions. That's not something everyone retains. It's a testament to the life still blooming inside you. And if you feel this, even a little, I invite you to pause for just a moment. Maybe like this video, or maybe think of one person, just one, who needs this hope today. Share it with them. You never know how much one message, delivered at just the right time, can change the way someone sees their own life. Another deeply powerful sign that longevity may be choosing you is your ability to find joy in the simple act of eating. Not just mechanically consuming food, but genuinely looking forward to a warm meal, savoring the sweetness of a ripe peach, delighting in the comforting aroma of freshly baked bread. Appetite is not merely a physical craving, it's a profound emotional connection to life. After 80, a hearty appetite tells a story of a body still eager to nourish itself, a spirit still choosing to stay engaged with the simple pleasures of living. When you reach for your favorite foods, when you anticipate a good meal, when you feel the small thrill of the first bite, these are not trivial things. They are sacred confirmations that your connection to life's rhythms is still vibrant and strong. And yet there's more. Tucked away even deeper, often invisible to anyone but yourself, your ability to adapt, to change when circumstances change, to learn new things. Maybe you figured out how to video chat with your grandchildren. Maybe you found a way to exercise differently when your knees started to ache. Maybe you rearranged your home to make it safer or more comfortable. Adaptability is the quiet muscle of survival. It's the way life inside you refuses to be trapped by old patterns or new challenges. Those who adapt are those who thrive. If you find yourself adjusting, improvising, trying, even if it's messy, even if it's frustrating, that is life itself speaking through you. It's the strongest possible sign that you are not simply existing, you are still growing. There's something almost magical about realizing that your heart can still flex, still stretch to meet new realities, still move forward even when the road bends in unexpected ways. And if you feel that in yourself, hold it close. It's a gift not everyone gets to keep. And hidden inside all of this, quietly guiding every step and every breath, is your emotional resilience. The way you bounce back after a tough day. The way you find your way back to laughter after a sorrow. The way you still, somehow, choose to hope. Resilience after 80 is not the resilience of a child bouncing back from a scraped knee. It's a deeper, softer kind of strength. It's the kind that feels the sting of loss, the ache of change, and still, somehow, chooses joy, chooses trust, chooses to keep reaching for life even when it would be easier to retreat, when you still find yourself smiling at a new sunrise, when you still reach for the phone to call a friend, when you still hum along to a favorite song. These are not small things. They are the quiet drumbeat of a soul that refuses to give up its dance. There's something profoundly beautiful about a soul that still chooses to wake up every morning with a whisper of excitement. Even after 8 decades of witnessing life's unpredictable twists, when you open your eyes and feel even the smallest sense of anticipation for the day ahead. It is no small thing. It is, in fact, a rare kind of courage. It's a sign that your inner world remains connected to the endless possibilities still tucked inside each sunrise. This spirit, this ongoing conversation with life, doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't need to. It hums quietly inside you as you brew your morning coffee. Tend to your flowers. Glance out the window and notice the way the morning light dances across the walls. It's there in the way you straighten your collar before heading out, even if it's just to the corner store. In the way you stop to greet a neighbor, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to connect, however briefly. These small choices are not background noise. They are proof that the thread of vitality still runs strong through you. And if you're still listening now, if your heart feels even the faintest echo of this truth, it's not by accident. It means that somewhere deep inside, you know that aging is not a retreat from life. It's a deepening into it. And that knowledge, that instinctive reaching toward the light, is a gift, a sign that you are not merely passing time. You are still truly alive. If you feel that spark inside, even if it's small, I invite you to share this message today. Share it with someone who may have forgotten how extraordinary it is to keep living with openness after so many years. Sometimes, hearing these truths spoken aloud is all it takes to rekindle a sense of wonder that was never truly lost, only sleeping. Another quiet but profound sign that you are aging toward longevity is the way your heart remains tender toward others. After a lifetime of betrayals, losses, and disappointments, it would be so easy to close off, to grow bitter, to shrink back in self-protection. Yet if you still find yourself offering a kind word, a gentle touch, a small act of generosity, even to strangers, your spirit is demonstrating something astonishing. A resilience not just of the body, but of the soul, to love after great loss, to trust after betrayal, to care even when the world has shown its hard edges. That is strength beyond measure. It's one thing to survive 80 years. It's another thing entirely to emerge from them still willing to love. That kind of softness wrapped in strength is the true mark of a soul that refuses to wither. No matter how many seasons pass, when you pause to listen to someone's story without judgment, when you reach for the hand of a friend who's hurting, when you still feel moved by a song, a poem, a simple sunset, you are proving that your emotional core remains supple and alive. The heart that still aches with compassion is the heart that still beats fully, richly, vibrantly, and woven through all of this is something almost invisible, something so many people underestimate until it's gone. The ability to recover after challenges, after a minor illness, a surgery, a fall, an emotional blow. If you find yourself slowly, steadily rebuilding, you are demonstrating a resilience that scientists struggle to quantify, but everyone can recognize when they see it. Recovery is not just about the body stitching itself back together. It's about the spirit choosing, again and again, to believe in tomorrow. You don't have to bounce back quickly. You don't have to move at the speed you once did. What matters is that you move at all, that you allow healing, however slow, to happen, that you refuse to let setbacks define your story. In a world that often measures value by speed and productivity, there is something quietly radical about healing at your own pace, in your own time, without apology. If you recognize even a sliver of this resilience in yourself, hold it close, celebrate it. You are not weak. You are not fading. You are the living proof that life, real life, has nothing to do with youth and everything to do with persistence, tenderness, and hope. And maybe, just maybe, that's why the most beautiful gardens are the ones that survive the harshest winters. They don't bloom because the storms pass them by. They bloom because they endured them, learned from them, grew deeper roots through them. You are that garden, still blooming, still unfolding, still filling the world with quiet beauty. Even when no one is watching, sometimes the strongest sign that life is still deeply rooted within you is found in the smallest, quietest moments. It's when you catch yourself humming an old melody while washing the dishes. It's when you find unexpected joy in watching the way sunlight dances on the kitchen counter, making the most ordinary day feel somehow sacred. It's when you realize that, despite all the losses and changes, a part of you still leans toward beauty, still seeks out wonder, still marvels at the simplest gifts life places gently in your path. That kind of wonder isn't naive. It isn't childish. It's wisdom in its purest form. The wisdom to know that life has always been more about small joys than grand victories. The wisdom to find treasure in a quiet afternoon, a shared smile, a warm breeze through an open window. If you can still feel gratitude for these moments, you are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are tuning your heart to the music of life in a way that many people, even much younger ones, forget how to do. And if you're still with me, still letting these words settle into the soft spaces of your heart, know that this, too, is a quiet triumph, because it means you haven't closed yourself off. You're still open, still curious, still willing to believe that your best moments might not be behind you. They might be waiting for you just around the next corner. If this resonates with you, I gently invite you to think of someone in your life who might need this reminder. Someone who maybe feels like their best days are behind them. Someone who needs to hear from someone who understands that life still has beautiful things in store. Share this message with them. Sometimes, a single whisper of hope is enough to change the entire direction of a day or even a life. And here's something even more powerful to recognize. The way you still imagine a future for yourself, it doesn't have to be grand or complicated. Maybe you're thinking about planting a new row of tomatoes in the garden next spring. Maybe you're considering a short trip to visit an old friend. Maybe you're planning to finally finish that book you started months ago. Dreaming, planning, even in small ways, is a sacred act. It's proof that you still believe in tomorrow. And belief in tomorrow is one of the strongest predictors of long life that no medical chart can measure. Because when you imagine the future, you are telling your heart and your body, there is more to come, more mornings, more laughter, more stories, more reasons to stay. It doesn't matter if your dreams have changed over the years. What matters is that you still make room for them, that you still allow yourself the luxury of imagining yourself alive, vibrant, and reaching towards something new. Many people mistakenly think that after a certain age, dreaming becomes foolish. That setting new goals, even small ones, is somehow inappropriate or naive. But the truth is, dreaming is not reserved for the young. It belongs to anyone who refuses to let life grow stale inside their own soul. And if you can still dream, even a little, if you can still look ahead with a flicker of anticipation, then you are already defying every dark prediction about aging. You are living proof that aging doesn't mean the end of reaching, or laughing, or loving, or hoping. It simply means you do it with more grace, more wisdom, and more tenderness than ever before. Maybe you don't sprint toward your dreams the way you once did. Maybe now you stroll, or you lean gently into them. But forward is forward, and hope, no matter how quietly it flickers, is still one of the brightest forces in the universe. There's also a deeper, almost invisible thread running through those who thrive past 80. It's a quiet confidence, built not on the absence of hardship, but on having walked through fire and come out wiser, softer, and somehow stronger. It's the way you face each day with a certain calm, knowing that no matter what it brings, whether laughter or tears, you will find a way through it, because you always have. This quiet steadiness isn't loud. It doesn't boast. It simply is. It's in the way you carry yourself, in the way you listen more than you speak, in the way you comfort others without needing to fix them. It's in the way you allow life to unfold around you, without rushing, without forcing, trusting that there is a rhythm to everything, and that somehow you are still part of that rhythm. Moving in time with something larger than yourself, there's a profound kind of strength and patience, in waiting without bitterness, in watching seasons change, and knowing that your own inner seasons will change, too, and that's okay. If you find yourself growing more patient, more accepting, more rooted in the deep currents of life rather than the surface storms, that is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the reward for having lived long enough to know that some things are worth waiting for, and that sometimes simply being present is the most powerful thing you can offer. And if you're still listening now, still here with me in this quiet reflection, then you are proving yet again that you are very much alive, that your heart still leans forward, toward life, toward connection, toward meaning. So many people, long before they physically leave this earth, allow their spirits to shrink. They stop reaching, stop hoping, stop caring, but not you, not yet, maybe not ever. Because you understand something that can only be learned by living long enough to see it unfold. That life is not about how many years you stack up like trophies on a shelf. It's about how deeply you inhabit each day you are given. It's about savoring the small beauties, the first sip of morning coffee, the way your favorite sweater feels against your skin, the familiar creak of a beloved chair, the laughter of someone you love, floating through the air like music. These are not small things. These are the things, the real treasures. And if you still notice them, still delight in them, still feel a swelling of gratitude when you pause long enough to see them clearly, you are richer than most people will ever realize. You have found the gold that everyone else spends their whole lives chasing without even knowing where to look. It was never in the grand achievements. It was never in the noise. It was always here, in the quiet, in the simple, in the moments no one else notices, but you do. And that, more than anything, is why you are likely to live longer, because you have learned how to live well. And the universe, it seems, has a soft spot for those who live with open hands, open hearts, and open eyes.